Long Hachin died in battle against Emperor Feng Xiu. He and his friends had come to destroy the Star Pillar, but in reality, it was a carefully prearranged trap. The Lord of the Pillar had foreseen all of this long ago. Only by killing Long Hachin could Hao Yu, the god of destruction, be destroyed. This is certainly a tragic and sorrowful event. It reminded me of that moment in Douluo Dalu, when Tang San died. It's heartbreaking to see Kair consumed by grief for Long Hachin. By the way, it was in that very moment that all her memories returned. It was unbearably cruel to recall everything at the moment Long Hachin died. As we know from earlier parts of the original, Emperor Feng Xiu is actually Long Hachin's grandfather. That's why he saw him with his mother when he was a child. To think he would kill his own grandson. But this was a sacrifice made in order to destroy Hao Yu, who was bound to Long Hachin by a blood contract. This wasn't shown in the episode, but in the original, after Long Hachin's death, Emperor Feng Xiu spoke these words, "Child, at the moment of your death, you didn't even know the bond between us. This is the only thing I can do for you." As the human saying goes, even wild beasts care for their offspring, meaning even the worst creature wouldn't kill its own child. But I killed you, sacrificing you for the sake of my race. Will Long Hachin truly die forever? Is this really the end? Of course not. There is a way to resurrect him. How will Long Hachin return? First, his soul will remain alive for 7 more days thanks to the goddess of nature. Second, there is the Necromancer Electrlux, who is arguably the strongest being in this world, even stronger than Emperor Feng Xiu. He surely has a way to help Long Hachin. But to reach the Necromancer, they must ascend the 7 floors of the Tower of Eternity, reach the top, and obtain the legacy of the Holy Necromancer. That would help restore his soul and forge a new heart. If he is successfully revived, the goddess of nature's contract within him will also be restored. But if they fail, after 7 days, his soul will dissipate and be sealed in the tower forever. Kair and her friends were willing to do anything to save Haochen. She took a chain and fixed Long Hachin's body to her back. The whole team began climbing the floors. After passing the trials of the first 2 levels, they reached the 3rd, where an endless army of skeletons awaited them. Kair understood it was pointless to try and kill them all, so she decided to search for the Holy Dark Guardian, who was meant to be their true trial. She engaged in battle with the Black Knight, who greatly empowered the surrounding skeletons. This knight was a 9th-step powerhouse and attacked with a massive spear infused with dark energy. Eventually, the knight was defeated. He acknowledged Kair as his master and disappeared, becoming part of her eternal melody, an artifact she wore. Obviously, the higher they climbed, the harder the challenges became. On the 4th floor, they fought 2 elemental masters, one of fire, one of ice, the 6th and 7th guardians of the tower. These were powerful enemies, even difficult for Long Hachin to handle. On the 5th floor, they faced the Earth Guardian, a being with true supreme-level strength and over 200,000 units of spiritual energy. He wielded a domain. Each floor came with sacrifices. Someone from the team often stayed behind to let the others continue. For example, Wang Yuan used the divine shield and the power of the giant. However, the battle was so fierce that her shield broke, and the giant's godly soul crumbled, leaving her kneeling and covered in blood. Everyone thought she had died, but her life was hanging by a thread. Zhang Fangfang saved her by using a secret ancient technique that allowed him to transfer life force. He literally gave up half his life to her. If he originally had 100 years to live, now both he and Yuan had only 50 each. These are truly great sacrifices made by heroes for their comrades and for their ultimate goal, to save Long Hachin. On the 6th floor, they faced light and darkness, the 2 most powerful forces, capable of both merging and opposing one another. Kair decided to use the spiritual stove of Samsara to absorb her teammates' energy and raise her odds of success. With titanic effort, she made it to the 7th floor, still carrying Long Hachin on her back. Exhausted and on the brink of death, she found herself in a space filled with golden light and mystical runes. There, she met an old man, Electrlux, the Holy Necromancer. He asked her if all her efforts were truly worth it. Kair replied firmly, yes. She would do anything to bring Long Hachin back to life. But Electrlux explained that his necromancy was incompatible with her purifying power. If she inherited his strength, her body would eventually be destroyed. To save Long Hachin, Kair had to inherit Electrlux power. She had reached the 7th floor, so she had fulfilled the conditions. Kair slowly knelt before Electrlux and bowed. Despite the risk, she didn't hesitate to accept the sacrificial trial to bring Long Hachin back. Electrlux looked at Long Hachin's lifeless body with pain. After all, this was his disciple. So he explained how Haochen could be saved. To resurrect Long Hachin, a living heart was needed. His own had been destroyed. Electrlux explained that Long Hachin's heart was shattered beyond repair. While his soul remained intact, reviving him would be extremely difficult. A fresh, living, beating heart was essential. Kair gently laid Haochen down, then bent and kissed his forehead. She raised her right hand, now glowing with black light. The scythe of the god of death appeared in her palm. "Please, bring him back." As for the heart, she smiled and said, "Please, use mine." In a flash of black light, she aimed the death god's scythe at her own chest. She was absolutely sure she could extract her own heart intact and give it to Haochen. This, to her, was the perfect ending, so that she could always remain by his side. Her smile was sincere. She already felt the cold blade slice into her skin. But then a golden flash of light erupted from below, striking the scythe of death and knocking it away. Electrlux intervened. He wouldn't let Kair sacrifice her heart. "You foolish girl!" Electrlux cried out in fury. He was shaken to his core. But how could he let Kair give up her own heart? Most importantly, how would Long Hachin react? Electrlux showed Kair a vision. Long Hachin is resurrected. As he wakes, he's surprised to find the hole in his chest gone. He feels a heartbeat again. Then, he notices Kair lying lifeless next to him. He's horrified to realize she's dead. She gave her heart to revive him. And the real Kair watches all this from the outside. In the vision, Long Hachin is devastated. He tells Electrlux he can't live without Kair and begs him to give her heart back. Electrlux replies coldly that it's impossible. Hearts aren't something you can just pass back and forth. Kair is dead, and her life was the price of his revival. These are truly heartbreaking moments. As you've probably understood, Electrlux showed Kair that she should not give up her heart. And it's clear he came up with another way to save Long Hachin. Since this video has already gotten quite long, we'll continue in the next part. Hit that like button. Let's get to 2,000 likes and we'll release the continuation. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and see you all next time.